Hey guys, it's Tuesday. Should we talk about some comic book spec for FOC and New Comic Book Day? Let's do it. What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to Bruce and Stephanie Comics. My name is Bruce, and as you guys just saw, we're talking about the latest comic book spec for FOC and New Comic Book Day, because it is Tuesday. Actually, I do want to warn you guys, this video might drop on Wednesday, because it is now 1:17 p.m. on Tuesday, and I normally record this video at like 8:30 in the morning, so that way I have time to edit it and get it out to you guys, so I might not make it in time before I have to leave for Primus. That's right, I am taking my 12-year-old son, that's right, he just turned 12-year-old son Nate to see Primus tonight, so I have to leave at 5 o'clock, and I might not have enough time to get this done. But let's not waste any more time, yeah? And it is time for comic book speculation or recommendation, the video where we look off into the future at final order cutoff and New Comic Book Day of next week. That's right, guys, we look into the future so that way you guys have enough time to put in your pre-orders for your FOC books and to also to reach out to your local LCS and say, hey, I was watching Bruce and Stephanie Comics comic book speculation or recommendations video. I like what he had to say. I actually went out and did my own research and I agree with what he had to say. So I would like to pick up a couple extra copies of these books because I would like to start to make this hobby fun itself. It is time for my 2 reminders. I remind you guys about 2 things each and every single week. The first one will always be to do your own research. This is such an important big thing for speculation videos. People suggest books to you guys, either on other past speculation on books from the past or videos like mine where I look into the future. These are only suggestions. You guys need to go out and do your own research and make sure you guys are comfortable with the suggestions before you guys go buy a bunch of different books. Again, these are my opinions. My opinions might be crazy, might be so far off that you guys will be burning money instead of actually buying something that's going to be worth something more in the future. But guys, do your own research. And the best thing, in my opinion, is to go check other comic book YouTubers you trust, check other comic book websites that you trust, and other comic book apps that you trust. Gather the most information possible, so that way you guys can make the best decisions possible for yourself. Because remember, you guys are spending your own hard-earned money on these books, not mine, yours. Alright guys, the second and last thing that I remind you guys about is that sometimes the book that I speak about in today's video that are on FOC and New Comic Book Day can shift back a week or 2 or 3 or more. So I might mention a book on FOC today that might be on FOC again next week or the following week because the book was delayed for whatever reasons. It could be editorial, it could be printer delays, it could be shipping delays, it could be so many different things, but sometimes the books do shift. So keep an eye on that, and there actually are some books that I spoke about in last week's video that are going to be spoken about again in today's video because they did shift. So those are my 2 reminders. Let's jump in to my FOC spec. Alright guys, we are talking about my final order cutoff picks for October 3rd for your DC books and October 4th for your Marvel and Indies. We always start our FOC and New Comic Book Day picks for that matter with our cover spec pick of the week after going through all the books on FOC. This cover, which was on our FOC cover spec pick list, is back again. And that is Spawn number 323. I absolutely love this cover. We get an amazing Spawn villain on a porch with 3 little trick-or-treaters dressed as comic book superheroes. We got Wonder Woman, Batman, and Captain America. It's just gorgeous. It's right in time for Halloween, and I think it's really, really cool. You guys let me know. Is this spec worthy? Should people pick this up just for the cover alone? Or is this just another gorgeous cover that is not going to be worth more than $1 book in the future? You guys let me know down in the comments. Alright guys, we have 2 books on my FOC spec list. One is a DC book, one is an indie book. So let's dive right into the DC book, and that is Wonder Girl number 6. This has the first appearance of Portria. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm probably totally butchering it because I always butcher names. But guys, you know I am really enjoying Yara Flor. And she was going to have a CW TV show, but then it got canceled. Why did it get canceled? Because I think the WB or Warner Brothers has bigger plans for Yara Flor than the CW. I think they want to introduce her on HBO Max and give her a real chance at being a real big-time character for the future. And if they do this, they are going to need characters like Portria in that TV series or movie. So I'm speccing on all things Yara Flor in Wonder Girl right now because I do think, again, this could be a stretch. Maybe I'm stretching it, but I do think Warner Brothers has some big plans for Yara Flor in the future because I think she's way cooler than Wonder Woman. You guys let me know. The first appearance of Portria in Wonder Girl number 6. Are you picking it up? Are you speccing on Yara Flor? Let me know down in the comments. And the last book on our FOC list, like I mentioned, is an indie book. And indie books are always a gamble. You're always a gamble. You never know when the indie book is going to take off or not. Like Something is Killing the Children. That book came out, and it was like, it wasn't until the 7th issue until that book really started to take off. So, remember, indie books are always a gamble. But this book I think is really cool, and there's 2 reasons why I think this book is really cool. So let's talk about what the book is, shall we? It is called What's the Furthest Place from Here, #1. This is written by Matthew Rosenberg and it's art by Taylor Boss. Taylor Boss has done some really good artwork in the past. I'm excited to see what this artwork is going to be inside of this book. Matthew Rosenberg, on the other hand, I don't love his work at DC, but he's a decent enough writer. He's also friends with James Tynion IV. James Tynion IV, on his newsletter, has said this book is absolutely badass, so I'm excited to read this book. But let's read the synopsis real quick. The world has ended. All that remains are gangs of children living among the ruins. But Sid believes there must be something more out there. When she disappears into the wastelands, her gang will risk everything to bring her home. A story about the things that matter most: your survival, your loved ones, and your record collection. Now that's the key thing, your record collection. So, for issue #1, and I believe issues moving forward, I could be wrong about that, but for issue #1, there is a deluxe version of this book that will come with a 7-inch vinyl record that has music on it. Original music for this book, and I think that is freaking awesome. So you get a pretty cool post-apocalyptic story about some kids living in this wasteland and dealing with those things, which is a recipe for a great story and also a record. That's freaking cool. You can play some sweet, sweet music while you read a sweet, sweet book. That sounds freaking awesome. So, I also think the story could be great for a TV show in the future. Come on, post-apocalyptic things. Think of all the stories out there that are post-apocalyptic. I can think 2 right now. Y the Last Man and Walking Dead. World goes boom. Things happen. I love it. So, what's the furthest place from here? #1, check it out. You guys decide for yourself. Is this spec worthy or not? I ordered 3 copies of issue #1 because I do think this is spec worthy. But it's up to you guys to do what you guys think is right. But those are my FOC picks. Let's jump into my new comic book day picks. Alright guys, we are talking about my new comic book day picks for October 6th of 2021. I can't believe we're talking about October already, but we are, and let's do it. So, my cover spec pick of the week is Swamp Thing #8, the B cover. I believe it's by Francisco Mattina. It's an absolutely gorgeous cover, and I really think this is the only cover on New Comic Book Day of next week that was actually really special and really freaking cool. You guys, let me know down in the comments, am I absolutely crazy? I probably am. I always am with these covers. These covers usually tend to do nothing, but I do think this one is pretty cool, and I think you guys might want to pick it up. Put it away. Who knows? Also, Ram V is writing this book, and it's an absolutely awesome story. That's my cover spec pick of the week for New Comic Book Day on October 6th of 2021. Let's jump in to my honorable mention. I do have one honorable mention this week, guys. This is a book that has some spec behind it, but you really need to do your own research before picking up any extra copies of this book, or go with your gut. Sometimes your gut is right when you make a gut decision, which might be what I'm doing next week. But let's talk about what this book is. It is Chicken Devil #1. Chicken Devil. Check out this cover artwork. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The character design and colors are so freaking cool. But Chicken Devil #1. It's about a regular guy who owns a chain of hot chicken restaurants and who is an unlikely vigilante to battle the mob, but the Chicken Devil may be the right hero for the job. So basically this guy owns chicken restaurants, but is a vigilante dressed up as a chicken and is fighting the mob and is doing a pretty good job of it, I guess. I don't know. It sounds really fun. It could be like a show, kind of like, Better Call Saul, that's kind of a comedy, but kind of serious at the same time. I don't know. I think this sounds really freaking cool. I wanted to bring it up to you guys. It's, again, spec is honorable mention. Just take a look at it. You guys make your decisions for yourself, but Chicken Devil #1 looks pretty freaking cool. All right, guys, I have 2 main spec picks for this week. The first one is Dark Ages #2. This is the first cover appearance of Miles with the Venom Carnage symbiote hybrid, which I think is pretty freaking cool. You never know if this Dark Ages universe could cross over into the normal MCU, and then what if Miles is evil in this, and he has a Venom Carnage symbiote hybrid that comes to our universe and starts messing with the new Dylan Brock Venom, and then Eddie Brock needs to come down and do his thing. I don't know. It's a stretch. Definitely a stretch, but I think it's pretty freaking cool, and the artwork on this cover is absolutely gorgeous. Cover B is actually pretty cool too. I like the steampunk version of this universe, but Dark Ages #2 with the Miles Morales Venom Carnage symbiote cover appearance. Alright guys, what is my last and final book for this week? My last and final book for this week is a DC book, and it is Arkham City, The Order of the World #1, and this has the first appearance of Jessica Joy and first appearance of the Arkhamites, which is a team or a group of escaped Arkham inmates that escaped from Arkham Asylum when it was destroyed. So, why do I think you guys should be specking on this book? Well, the Gotham City Police Department show is coming out on HBO Max. In the future, they are going to need things to chase after. This TV show is supposed to be a spin-off show from the Matt Reeves movie, and that hasn't come out yet. We don't know what's happening in that, but in season 2, season 3, because we know it's gonna be a hit and they're gonna be more seasons of it, they might need characters like the Gothamites, or the Arkhamites, or Jessica Joy. What do you guys think? Am I stretching it too far, or am I just being future thinking? You guys tell me down in the comments. But those are all the spec picks for this week for Final Order Cutoff in New Comic Book Day. What do you guys think of the picks for this week? Were any of them good? Did I miss anything? Now I do have a question for you guys right now. If you guys made it this far if you guys made it this far in today's episode, you guys tell me, would you guys prefer a format where I take all of the first appearances and all the spec-worthy books and just kind of go through them quickly and letting you guys know which books are spec-worthy and which books are not? Or do you prefer a format where I just pick the books that I think are spec-worthy and give you my thoughts only on those books? You guys let me know down in the comments, and then, you know, if you guys do want to see a longer format video, I can think about doing that. Or if you guys like just hearing me ramble out the books that I like, I can keep doing what I'm doing right now. Alright guys, I will catch you guys on Thursday for Holland Vlog. It's gonna kind of be a special edition because we're gonna drop some news on you guys, and then we'll be back for Comics and Beer on Friday. Alright guys, have a good time. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, get yourself subscribed, smash that like button, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Peace.